Dallas. Oakland's playmaker Tim Brown discusses the cardiac Raiders. And we explore the relationship between Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning.
Everybody, welcome to this week's show. Gentlemen, I want to talk about team chemistry.
We got team chemistry.
We got team chemistry. The Yankees have team chemistry. They won the World Series in 4 straight games. And I wonder about the team chemistry in Washington this week, because after the Redskins lost to the Cowboys on Sunday, their young owner, Daniel Snyder, went down to the locker room where all the players could hear, and he really blistered the head coach, Norv Turner.
Yeah, he didn't blister him, Lenny. He screamed for 45 minutes until he lost his voice. Then he finally quit.
I think he lost his mind down there. I was at that Dallas game last week. Let me tell you something. The Washington Redskins played hard in that game. That's the job of Norv Turner. If he wants to go down there and scream at somebody, he should have screamed at Albert Connell and Michael Westbrook, the 2 young receivers that popped off about Deion Sanders. That's what got the Cowboys fired.
Well, Coach, any owner ever scream at you?
Well, I was fortunate. I never had an owner ever scream at me, but unfortunately, I screamed at an owner once. I was having a problem with the general manager. He wanted to cut my backup quarterback.
Well, I don't blame
couldn't
you.
Change his mind. So I went down to see Mr. Bud Adams, and I walked in there. I says, Mr. Adams, we got a problem. And he said, wait a minute, little buddy. You raise your voice again, you won't have any problems. You won't be the coach of the Houston Oilers.
And what did you say back to him?
I said, you're right, Mr. Adams. I'll go upstairs and I'll fix this.
Come on, we're talking about Daniel Snyder. We're talking about a frustrated owner. We're talking about a guy who had lost to the Dallas Cowboys twice in a row. He goes down to Norv Turner. Norv Turner, I'm not sure, has a lot of respect of his players anywhere. We all know that Norv Turner's an easygoing guy. Sometimes easygoing people need a kick in the butt to get them going.
Oh, wait. How about a little class, Nick? Class in the situation. He's not much older than some of his players on that football team. He should pick and choose when he talks to his coach.
I agree with that. I think an owner's an owner. He owns the football team. But if he's ever going to holler at his coach, let's do it when private, when nobody's listening.
And Norv Turner should have said, here's the whistle, big boy. You take over right now.
Maybe he liked to go.
Probably would. That's probably
Well, here's the time for our highlights. Okay, we'll start the highlights in Baltimore, where the Ravens defensive tackle, Tony Siragusa, was in rare form.
Yep, there you go. All right, cameraman, you going to play? Yeah. Then move out your ass, man. You're on the Atkins diet. I've been on that Atkins diet, man. How do I look? Pretty good, don't I? Be honest. Look, when I walk away, check my ass out. Look.
Defensive tackles can be sensitive about their figures.
What do you think?
Dissing their diets can provoke strong reactions.
You're a lot uglier in person, man. You look good on camera, though.
On a Thursday night in Baltimore, Tony Siragusa's bulk helped jam up the Kansas City Chiefs.
Come here, man. Get over here. Where you going, man? Hey, what is that?
But as the game progressed, there were other weightier issues to discuss.
You know they got 3 holding calls on us, and we got none on them. You know that.
Are you keeping score?
Yeah, man. Got to. I got mugged twice. You saw me get tackled that one time. They didn't call it either.
No, you were going down, Tony.
Dude, I was planting, and he tackled me from behind. What do you mean I was going down? You still can't tackle me.
You're going down. Where's the hole?
It was right where I was supposed to be. Yeah, exactly. If he doesn't tackle me, I make the play, right?
No.
He didn't run right at me.
Oh, you ain't ran right at you. You were going down. Tony running was by you.
Oh, man. What do you mean? By you? He was 5 yards in the backfield. I will. And I'll give you my address so you can write me an apology.
Baltimore hammered the Chiefs' ground game.
Tackler is hit in midair. Ray Lewis with the hit of the night. Boom. Did you hear that up there?
You guys are going the wrong way.
But on passing downs, they didn't throw their weight around quite so well.
Gerback looking that way. Fires for Gonzalez. Stretches forward. Touchdown. Kansas City. Touchdown. Tony Gonzalez.
Hey, we need some field position. Come on, baby. Dig a little deeper, man.
Stoney Case promptly dug the Ravens into a ditch.
Sprint action by Case. Rolling right. Pass intercepted. Here goes Hasty. Up the left sideline. 40, 35, 30. James Hasty. Touchdown, James Hasty. And his 60th career NFL takeaway.
Case threw 37 passes on the night, 3 of which landed in Kansas City hands.
Give us a chance, man.
Elvis Gerback threw only 16 times with much better results.
Wide open now, throws it Gonzalez, wide open, deep corner pattern, touchdown.
Tony, what's up, baby? Keep going, man. You're fighting, man. Just keep a, you know what? You just got to find something, man. You got to find it. You know what I'm saying? Work it out with him. Work it out with him. Throw it up in the dirt. Whatever you got to do, we got to do it, okay?
Syracuse's optimism went unrewarded.
Johnny Everts now laterals it back to Reggie Tongue. Tongue has the football on the right side of the field. Cuts it back left. 20. Sets a tackle. 10. 5. Touchdown. Kansas City.
Stoney Case's final interception had more dire consequences. Frustrated by his throw, Case failed to position himself for what might have been a touchdown-saving tackle. The result, Kansas City's second defensive score and a demotion to second string for the hard-luck picked-off passer. Even the Ravens' rushing defense wore down as Kansas City ran away from Baltimore 35-8, setting up a first-place showdown this week with San Diego. For Syracuse, Baltimore's starvation diet on offense was the toughest pill to swallow. At the Meadowlands, the Giants looked to revive their slumping offense. Fortunately for them, the Saints were in town. With just one win, Mike Ditka seems bewildered. And against New York, the confusion continued.
Graham in a shotgun, back in the pocket, looking to run. He will run to the 5. Graham in, touchdown Giants! Saints show blitz. Graham back in the pocket. Heaves one down the left sideline, looking for Coomer's. Got a step, got it!
At the end of the first half, the Saints helped the Giants answer a prayer on a Hail Mary pass.
Heaves it right down the right sideline toward the end zone. Tip ball drill, and it's caught by the Giants! Coomer kicked it, Jervis has got it!
In addition to a lucky bounce, the Giants also used a touch of grit. Running back Joe Montgomery may not have worn a leather helmet, but his touchdown was old school.
Hands for Montgomery, running right to the 10. Montgomery to the 5, still on his feet, and in for a touchdown! That's right. Montgomery gets the score.
This week, New Orleans looks for more equal competition against the winless Browns. In Miami, Damon Heward started in place of Dan Marino, who remains sidelined with a shoulder injury. In his first NFL start, Heward's fleet feet frustrated the Eagles. Heward may be quick, but behind the offensive line, J.J. Johnson scored the game's only offensive touchdown. The Dolphin running game proved more effective than the pass as Brian Dawkins' interception return cut Miami's lead to 3.
It's intercepted by Dawkins at the 40, 45-50, 45-40, 35-30. Brian Dawkins is going all the way in for a touchdown.
Late in the game, the Eagles faced a 3rd and 2 and opted to go for it all instead of a first down. But on the ensuing play, the Eagles had a chance to force overtime with a field goal.
Eagles trying to tie the game right here. The kick is away. It's got the distance. It's no good! It's no good! He pushed it right!
The Eagles let one get away. This week, Miami travels to face the Raiders, who last week caught some Z's before the Jets' first visit to Oakland since 1972. 1999 has been more of a nightmare for New York, but early in the game, it was the Raiders who were still in dreamland.
Higher quarterback draw, breaks the tackle, 5, he will dive into the end zone for a New York Jet touchdown. Play action pass, Ryan throws, it is caught by Green, touchdown Jets.
Down 20-3, Rich Gannon awoke the Oakland offense by rushing for 60 yards, more than half the Raiders' rushing total. Tim Brown enjoyed a career day with 190 yards receiving and a touchdown.
Going deep up the right side for Brown, and he's got it! 5, Brown, touchdown! Tim Brown!
Zach Crockett's touchdown run cut the Jets' lead to 3.
Here goes Zach again, and he's into the end zone, walking and high-stepping. Touchdown, Raiders!
With less than 2 minutes remaining, Tim Brown's 36-yard catch and run set up a 1st and goal at the 5. John Gruden may have a covert way of calling plays, but the secret to the Raiders' success was found in the feet of Rich Gannon.
Rolling right again, Brown covered. Gannon now running around. Ferguson has him to throw in the end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown, Raiders! James Jett able to get behind Marcus Coleman, number 42. Fireman Ed gets torched.
Bill Parcells and the Jets fall to 1-6 as they head into their bye week.
Oakland's 17-point comeback was led by the Raiders' all-time leading receiver, Tim Brown. And Tim, you're looking pretty spry out there. Congratulations on last week. 191 yards.
Well, thanks a lot, Chris, man. It's been a long time since I've had a game like that. It really felt good to come back into the limelight and help this team come back from a 17-point deficit to win a big game for us.
You know what's been interesting to watch in this past game was the fact the Raiders' vertical offense really had been relegated to the history books over the past couple of years, but I thought the deep ball was the difference against the Jets.
Yeah, we had to do certain things a little differently than what we had been doing, and you know, we wanted to run the old West Coast offense, and of course this is a part of the West Coast offense, but we had to stretch it out a little bit. You know, the Jets were sometimes implementing three-man rush schemes where they would drop 8 guys, so it made it a little tough to just dink the ball off 5 yards and hope somebody would get loose and make something happen. So so we had to go a little deeper, and then things worked out for us, and I think the closer we got to them, the more they sort of went to straight man-to-man coverages, and it really helped us with our passing game.
Well, but the win over the Jets cost you guys potentially. Rich Gannon, he broke that bone in his left hand. Is he going to be able to play?
Well, we don't know at this particular point. He's trying to come out and do some things, but we don't know if he's going to be able to take the pain. And, you know, it's a spot where they really don't want to shoot up because, you know, if he falls and hurts it again, he could potentially hurt it even worse, and we don't want to lose him for the rest of the year. But, you know, everybody knows Rich is a very tough guy, and if he can be out there, I'm sure he's going to find a way to do that.
You have to be looking forward to this game against the Dolphins. It really comes down to the wide receivers one-on-one against some pretty good cornerbacks. Tell me about the matchup.
Well, I tell you what, this is going to be another tough matchup for us. You know, we've played some very good bump and run teams so far this year, and these two guys are probably the best tandem that one of the best tandems that we're going to see this year. So, you know, Buckley is a guy who's going to guess on you, but most of the time he guesses right, so that makes him very smart. And Madison's more of a physical guy who's going to try to hold you up at the line of scrimmage and just make it difficult for you to get down the field. So we're really going to have to be pretty physical coming off the ball. And I think if we can do that and our offensive line hold up, you know, we have a chance to make some things happen. But it should be a great day of football for us, and we're definitely looking forward to it.
The old wide receivers comment, if the offensive line holds up, I get open all day. Timmy, good luck this week.
Thanks a lot, Chris. I appreciate it.
All right, Lenny, let's go over to you.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. I see wide receivers still stick together. You know, a lot of bad news for the Raiders. They got some injury problems. They do have some good news. Their best offensive lineman, Mo Collins, will be back in the lineup this week. Now you got Miami traveling all the way out to Oakland. A very important game for both teams.
Yeah, and I think Tim Brown is right. The game will be decided in the secondary, but not Sam Madison and Terrell Buckley going against Jett and Brown. I think it's when Oakland puts in their third receiver, Terry Mickens, going against Pat Surtain. The Raiders think Surtain is the weakness. I don't agree. Miami's solid. I like the Dolphins.
In the secondary, though, I don't think so. You got to have your starting quarterback for the game to be decided in the secondary. I think it'll be decided in the running game. And I think Napoleon Kaufman or Tyrone Wheatley, who's ever running that football, is going to run into the best middle linebacker in football, Zach Thomas. Zach Thomas will be after him, hitting him so hard. If Tyrone Wheatley's in there, this is the signal. Take me out there, hit me too hard. Zach Thomas will maul him, and I think they win.
You think Miami's going to win?
Absolutely.
Even with the quarterback, Damon Heward? He's going to be starting, not Dan Marino. You know, they want to run the football down there in Miami. They won't be able to do it against the front seven of Oakland. That means they got to throw the ball. When they throw it, Tony Bryant, 4 sacks. Lance Johnstone, 4 sacks will take care of that. I like the Oakland Raiders. Chris, what do you say?
Lenny, I agree with you. I'm taking the Raiders in this one because they know that the Miami Dolphins have to run the football with Damon Huard playing quarterback. I'm taking the Raiders. Well, quarterbacks are the story, though, in this game. But the story all season in Tampa Bay has been the play of that incredible defense and their star, Warren Sapp.
As the NFC's #1 ranked unit, the Bucs defense has pulled off some neat tricks this season. Too bad their offense hasn't been much of a treat. Another poor performance by Trent Dilfer last Sunday relegated him to second string this week. However, the Bears' quarterback situation isn't any better. On a day neither team reached the end zone, an ineffective Cade McNown was replaced by Jim Miller, but the Bears still seemed to go nowhere. In the final minute, linebacker Derek Brooks sealed the win with his second interception of the day.
Here comes the bounce. Pick up. Intercepted Derek Brooks. That should do it. Maybe the ugliest puppy in the litter, but we're going to keep it, take it home, and make a nice little bid for it to go Betty by all right. Hey, 6-3. Hey, Tampa Bay.
Any truce between the Cowboys and the Redskins was quickly forgotten at game time. For if Washington wanted to reserve a spot among the NFL's elite, they would have to circle the wagons and take out their arch rivals.
Serious opportunity. Matter of fact, I haven't seen this opportunity in 7 or 8 years. Yeah, gentlemen, if you got to be jacked up for today, you ain't got a heart. Let's go, man. Knockout on 3. 1, 2, 3. Knockout.
Surprisingly, the first big blow was delivered by Deion Sanders, who recorded his 4th ever tackle for a loss. But it was Sanders who took the biggest hit when his bell was rung on a first-quarter punt return. Primetime left the game with a concussion, forcing Dallas to find more conventional methods for advancing the football.
Let's move it, Floyd. Come on, Floyd. Come on, Rocket.
With Emmitt Smith at tailback. Warren in motion. Aikman throws a quick fade for Rocket at the goal line. Up over his shoulder. He caught it. Touchdown. What a brilliant throw and catch. Aikman to Ismail, 13 yards, and the Cowboys draw first blood.
We're fine now, man. We're under him now. Larry got grabbed on the one. We didn't get off to the Mike Backer. That's the guy we got to get off to now. Okay?
That linebacker was number 50, Derek Smith, and pulling guard Larry Allen had no problem seeking out his target and eliminating him. After 2 subpar weeks for the Dallas offense, the 30th-ranked Redskin defense provided welcome relief with the Cowboys on the verge of turning the game into a blowout.
And David LaFleur with the easy touchdown. Boy, you talk about all alone.
All day like that, Larry. All day like that, Eric. All day like that.
In Week 1, Washington blew a 21-point lead to Dallas, eventually losing in overtime. This time, the Redskins hoped that Mike Sellers' first-ever NFL touchdown would open the floodgates for a comeback of their own.
Mike Sellers first as a Redskin. He's a horse. He's a player. Hey, we're going to get another shot. Let's go get him.
Stephen Davis and the NFL's top-ranked offense continued to pour it on. Number 48 helped to set up 2 field goals and enabled Brad Johnson to use play fakes to go deep down the field.
Play action fake, bootleg, going deep, down the middle, got a man, Connell's there, leaping catch, touchdown, Washington Redskins. Glory, hallelujah, what a catch in the end zone.
What a throw.
Boy, that put him right back in this game. Go get a double play, man.
Aikman never allowed it to get closer than 4 points, but his 1,000th career rushing yard came at a price.
Bootleg right, he'll keep to the 5. Take it in, big man.
He got out there, and he didn't know what to do, Brad, and he gets drilled. First he thinks he's going to kind of walk the dog. Then he says, should I jump? Then he just takes a hit.
That's what I'm saying. You're going to make up your mind, go, you got to go.
Aikman was fine after getting drilled, but it was the player who earlier was knocked from the game who amazingly returned to deliver the knockout punch.
Sanders is deep for the Redskin punt. Coming right, a block from Wynn, up the middle, 40. Can he beat the punter? Midfield, Deion to the 30. No yellow, hanky. Touchdown. Deion Sanders, 70 yards.
The Cowboys have handed the Redskins their only 2 losses and now share the lead with them in the division.
What you do speaks so loud I can't hear what you're saying. You know? What you do speaks so loud I can't hear what you're saying. It doesn't matter what you say, it's what you do right out there. Yeah. What you do. Great job, man. That's the way to come back and play with some enthusiasm and some fire and all that stuff that you have to get up within you to go win a big ball game. And you know what? Next week's a big ball game. I'm here to alert you already. Yeah. All right? Next week's a big ball game.
That big game for the Cowboys is this Sunday in Indianapolis, where life is just groovy, baby, for those swinging young Colts. For years, the Colts seem to be cursed by Dr. Evil, but this season they have finally found their mojo.
Manning will fake to Edgerton. Look, he's got Harrison wide open. Marvin's got it to 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, the 8th time this year.
For the first time in his career, Peyton Manning guided Indianapolis to back-to-back victories.
Got it to 5, turns it upfield, got to the pylon, touchdown! Kenny Dilger got it in there, diving through the air, hits the pylon, touchdown Colts.
Yeah, baby, it seems like a 60s flashback for the Colts, who are once again happening and ready to keep grooving this week against the Cowboys. Coming up on Inside the NFL, Jeff George invigorates a stagnant Minnesota offense. And a look back at Oakland's George Blanda and his late heroics in the 1970 season.
Oh, yes, I remember that 1970 season very well because the Chiefs were one of Blanda's victims, and they did it at the young age of 43. Now, if Blanda was a young 43, then the Colts' Peyton Manning is an old 23. In just 2 seasons, the combination of Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison have become one of the best tandems in the NFL. In this week's cover story, Brian Burwell explores the relationship between Marvin and Peyton.
Manning drops the throw, sets, looks, fires it deep down the sideline, intended for Harrison. He's got it, touchdown!
Peyton wants Marvin to succeed. Marvin wants Peyton to succeed. They just have hit it off, and I think it's paid off in their ability to produce on the football field.
When he came in here as a rookie, he took control of the offense. I like this guy. He's probably out there throwing passes. So this could be great.
Throughout his first 3 seasons in the NFL, despite putting up some very impressive numbers on some fairly bad teams, Marvin Harrison was one of the league's best-kept secrets. Well, this year, the secret's out because the Colts have become one of the NFL's most improved teams, due in large part to the ever-improving chemistry between Harrison and his new buddy, Peyton Manning. Last season, things were just a little different.
It was a game, I want to say it was the Patriots game, and we played them close, but had some chances there at the end and just didn't really make the plays.
Whether it was my mistake or his, we just realized and had to step back and say, okay, next year we got to go out there and make it so that we don't blow a game or blow a 3rd down conversion just because we both made mistakes.
I just said to him after the game, don't worry about what happened today. We'll get that all ironed out in the offseason. You guys get together. It's obvious that Peyton has confidence in you, and we'll have a good offseason program. We'll get it all worked out, and it'll click like just the way it's supposed to.
Polian was right. Painstaking, detailed daily workouts in Indianapolis in the offseason helped to develop that intuitive sense that every quarterback and receiver seek.
We took 1 play a day. Said, all right, we're going to throw this pattern for an hour today. Here's what it looks like versus man-to-man coverage. Here's what it is versus zone.
Man defense, 2-man, a blitz, whatever it was, we tried to cover all the bases so that we were ready for it once the season came around.
There has to be something extra you have to be willing to give to get to the top, and I believe Marvin and I are willing to kind of accept that challenge.
One of those extras is an elaborate system of hand signals and body gestures the pair has worked out. This is nothing new in the NFL, but Harrison and Manning, particularly Manning, seem to take it to the extreme.
We have a few signals about some adjustments, maybe a little nod here or there.
Thumbs down, thumbs up, just slicing. You can get into your legs, your hips, you can go all over the whole body, but it gets crazy sometimes, I say, But it's also fun, but, what are you doing, Well, you say, hey, don't worry about it. Sometimes a run play, he's still, going crazy.
Well, I've gotten him before. You see Marvin running the pass pattern on the field, and he's open on the play. I said, Marvin, you got to block on the run plays. Don't be running pass patterns.
As their friendship grows, it has extended off the field for Indianapolis' 2 most eligible bachelors. who don't exactly live the lifestyles of the rich and famous.
Myself and Peyton, once again, two single guys going out to eat dinner, once or twice a week. And that's basically, we enjoy it. We just got having fun, still talking about football once again, but enjoying ourselves and having dinner.
I'm pretty boring guy. We're a boring guy.
When you have a friend, it's different than being, in my opinion, a wide receiver and a quarterback. And because friends, he's relying on me and I'm relying on him.
That reliance has made Sundays with the Colts anything but boring these days, thanks to two young superstars and their fast-growing friendship.
Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison. Nick, you're our stock guy. How'd you like to have a few options on those two?
I want to package those two and take them public, Chris.
I would like to as well, though maybe we ought to take a look at them this week against Deion Sanders and the Cowboys before we pass any judgment.
And when you study Marvin Harrison and you see him open maybe 30 yards downfield, he got open right at the line of scrimmage. His release is how he does it, his first 3 steps. The best defensive back in all of football on the line of scrimmage, Deion Sanders. Tough day for Marvin.
But Deion Sanders plays on that defensive right side, so if the Colts choose not to put Marvin Harrison over there, he may not see him all day.
Marvin Harrison has the luxury of an offensive line. That's why he can get so open. Tarek Glenn, Adam Meadows. This line has only given up 3 sacks. Peyton Manning very comfortable in the pocket. Play action passes to Edgerrin James. That's why Harrison gets open.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an offensive line that decides this game, but not the Colts. The Dallas Cowboys. This group is finally getting healthy. The Cowboys proved last week that they can throw the football down the field. That'll take pressure off the running game. I think Emmitt Smith has a big game here. I like the Cowboys.
Emmitt Smith can have a big day because what's happening for the Colts, Chad Cota. He's the safety, but he plays like a linebacker. He'll get in there tight and smack him all around. I'm going with the Colts.
The Rockets going to have problems. Get out Burris and Poole out of the cornerbacks. That'll take away the passing game. I like the Colts.
Yeah, we're doubling up on you.
You guys never listen to me. Well, no one expects the Colts and the Cowboys game to be a blowout, but no one expected the game in Seattle to be a blowout last week either.
The enchanting steel band sounds of the West Indies wafted in and around the Kingdome last Sunday when the Seattle Seahawks hosted their annual International Music Festival. In the birthplace of grunge rock, there was a little something for everyone. As the bands rocked, the Seahawks rolled over the Buffalo Bills.
Go to the end zone, touchdown, Seattle! Derek Mays on a post pattern was wide open, and the Hawks come out with anger in their eyes and go right down the field and score. Wow. 2nd and 5. This is Kitna to throw. Good protection going down the seam. Caught by Derek Mays. Touchdown, Seattle. Right down the middle, Derek Mays.
Is this the warm-up for next week?
While Derek Mays looked ahead, Buffalo quarterback Doug Flutie needed eyes in the back of his head to avoid a Seahawk pass rush that had him running for his life. Flutie's energy was seldom contained by a defense that got him down, but not out. The Seahawks brought in the noise when defensive end Michael Sinclair, number 70, finally nailed number 7 and forced a fumble that ended any outside chance of a Buffalo comeback.
Way to go, Bowman. I didn't miss him that time. He was about to, though. Oh, no. I blasted it. I blasted those. I said I wanted some of those Flutie flakes. Oh, they was tasty, too. Lambeau Field, baby. We beat us Monday night.
In this age of parity, a few teams have emerged from the mist of mediocrity. The Chargers are one of them, but they found themselves in a fog against the Green Bay Packers, who flew the clear and friendly skies of San Diego.
Marks out the signal, takes the snap, hand off Dorsey, bouncing left to the outside, makes the turn of the 5, touchdown! He stepped through the tackle of
Packers rolled up a comfortable lead, Chargers quarterback Eric Kramer endured what may have been the worst afternoon of his professional career. When he could get his hands on the ball, Kramer threw 3 interceptions, 2 in the red zone. But his worst gap occurred at the end of the first half.
They're going to have to hurry this play with 6 seconds left to lead themselves 1 or 2 for a field goal. Here's Kramer. Again, steps up away from end pressure. He's holding the ball, now running it. Yeah, I don't think he'll make it. No, 7-yard line as time goes away. What a horrible, horrible decision by a veteran quarterback. I see it, and I don't believe it. That might have sealed the fate of Eric Kramer for the second half. Amen.
Different number, same result. Eric Kramer's replacement, Jim Harbaugh, threw 3 more interceptions, while Green Bay's Brett Favre threw 3 touchdown passes in the first Packer victory where no comeback was required.
Top the right side, Freeman turns, touchdown! Oh, great turn on the play.
Despite failing their first big test of the season, the Chargers remain tied for first in the AFC West. But any more losses like this one could send them back into that mist of mediocrity.
No easing into a street fight. Let's go. Play with poise, guys. Play with poise and confidence. This is our battlefield. I'm not as smart a coach today. Without you, I'm not as smart. I lose about 10 points in IQ. Have a good one. Just stay within yourself.
What's not to love when you're 5-0 and facing a winless opponent?
We've got the ball. That's all we want. That's all we want, the opportunity to score first. Can't ask for any more than that.
For the 4th time in 6 games, the Rams marched downfield and scored a touchdown on their opening possession.
And now, play action, throws the end zone. Touchdown, Ram, Roland Williams.
That's a beautiful throw, wasn't it? Beautiful throw. Well done, well done. That's just the beginning.
And it's taken by Ronnie Powell across the 20 to the 25, gets near the 30-yard line before the Rams gain. There, fumble.
Ball out! We got it!
And the Rams say they got it.
Their second drive ended in a touchdown as well.
Good job. Every time we called that thing, we scored.
The Rams' offense is much celebrated this year. What many people don't realize is that their defense can be downright frightening.
You go dominate. You haven't had a chance to play. Let you go dominate now. Let's you get after their ass.
St. Louis's defense destroyed the Dogs. Aside from a first-quarter field goal, the Browns were shut out.
63 years old, I'd pick that one. See, I think I could have made that play. No, maybe not. They had no yards third quarter. They did? Just keep attacking them, Michael. Then like it's nothing to nothing.
During what turned into an easy win, Vermeil never lost his intensity.
Torrey Holt was lined up too wide on one. How wide was he? Too wide. Wrap him up! Jeez, that makes me mad. Good job, Scotty. You gotta keep working technique. You're not gonna just be able to knock these guys in their ass. Get around them. Woo! Hit them, stick them. 2 PIs. Of course, if you'd have picked the first one, you would have been able to drop the second. Let's get it in here. Let's get it in here. No more. We haven't scored a touchdown since the first quarter. Let's get it in here, buddy.
Marshall Faulk may have been battling the flu, but Albert Reese still had to go kung fu fighting to tackle him. Faulk also provided perfect protection, another reason Kurt Warner is hitting over 70% of his passes this season, including 23 of 29 against Cleveland.
I don't know if Kurt threw many incomplete passes, did he? Not many.
Faulk gained 200 yards from scrimmage, giving him more than 380 over the last 2 weeks.
Marshall's at 100 yards right now, so keep him running straight ahead if you can.
Corner, hand handoff. Marshall Faulk gets across the line of scrimmage, and then some more. Breaks the tackle at the 25, to the 20, heading to the outside, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Rams! 33 yards.
Hey, Marshall, we didn't block anybody. Hey. We didn't block anybody. That was a hell of a run.
Can you tell me why we pay that guy that much money? That was sweet there.
6-0 is not too bad.
All I know is that you've made me almost too happy. I don't think we can, any of us, be too happy, can we? No. Let's keep being happy.
Great. I think the other thing, someone in the locker room said, what's our next test? Our next test is playing a team that has only lost one football game, and a damn good one, on the road. That's our next test, guys. So the Tennessee Titans, let's get ready to play.
You heard Dick Vermeil. This will be the Rams' first real test. Sunday, they travel to Tennessee to take on the Titans, and Tennessee head coach Jeff Fisher has a decision to make. Who's going to be his quarterback? Neil O'Donnell, he's 4-1, or a healthy Steve McNair?
You know, I had a chance to talk with Jeff Fisher this week, and he said he will make that decision at game time. But he also said that Steve McNair has looked excellent in practice, and I think he's going to be the starter. Added mobility is the difference with Steve McNair, plus the fact this Titans defense is so much more physical than anything the Rams have seen. I'm taking the Titans.
I don't care who the quarterback is, because if they're going to win this football game, Eddie George has to be the catalyst. He has to carry the ball 30, 35 times in the game, take time off the clock from that Ram explosive offense. There's only one problem. The Rams are second against the run in the NFC, and London Fletcher, the linebacker, having a great year. I love St. Louis.
You like St. Louis. I love what the Titans are doing on defense. They're the first team. They're not going to double any wideouts. They're going to have 8 people in the box. They're going to blitz, so Marshall Faulk has to stay in the pass and pick up the blitz. And they're going to have 8 people in there, so Marshall Faulk can't run for any yardage. But they won't win. No, they won't win the football game. The Rams will win because of their defense.
You think that Marshall Faulk is the only weapon they have? Single coverage out there on Isaac Bruce, who has 8 touchdowns already, and he's averaging about 17 yards per reception. Kurt Warner is leading the world in passing. I like the Rams of St. Louis. You know, Kurt Warner and Neil O'Donnell stepped in and provided the spark for the Rams and Titans to win, and the Vikings are hoping Jeff George can continue to do the same.
It's the dawn of the Jeff George era in Minnesota, with hopes that the golden arm but much maligned passer could awaken the Viking offense. But early on against the 49ers, the Minnesota attack was still slumbering.
He stumbles around a little bit, goes over left guard, fumbles the ball. Niners start to bring it back down the right side. This could go all the way. Down to 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Darnell Walker.
San Francisco's lead lasted 17 seconds as George effectively ended Minnesota's scoring slump.
4 wide. George Paxton throws upfield. Got catch it. At the 45, at the 40, at the 35, at the 30. 25, 20, 15, and 5 touchdowns, Vikings.
George threw for 250 yards and 3 touchdowns, including a play-action pass to a wide-open Andrew Jordan. In the second half, it was the Viking running game which iced the win. Minnesota scored over 24 points for the first time this season. As for the 49ers, they've lost 3 in a row for the first time since 1980, which was the same year New England last beat the Denver Broncos. As Denver's defense shut down Brett Favre the previous week, New England went to its running game with devastating results. Kevin Falk's 15-yard score was just the beginning as New England strong-armed its way past the Broncos, led by the running of number 22, Terry Allen. Allen had 2 touchdowns and helped the Patriots roll up a season-high 133 yards on the ground. In response, Brian Greasy took to the air, and his scoring strike to Rod Smith tied the game at 10. With the momentum shifted to Denver, Pete Carroll called on the league's top-rated passing game to grab it back.
Terry Glenn has it at the 45. That's the 40. Up under.
Cleveland would take a 24-13 lead into the fourth quarter, but the second-year quarterback brought his team back to within 4. If Greasy's quarterback draw was a fond reminder of the days of John Elway, then the late Denver rally was a glowing tribute. Playing the part of Elway and Terrell Davis were Greasy and another late-round pick from Georgia, Orlandis Gary. In the final minutes, Jason Elam tried a 59-yard field goal to give Denver the lead.
Ruin is the holder. Snap the ball down. The kick up, and it's going to come up short. No good.
It was another close shave for the Patriots, who have had 6 of 7 games this season decided by 3 points or less. You see, it's like this. George Seifert's Panthers had 6 possessions inside the Lions' 20-yard line last Sunday and scored 0 touchdowns, leaving Steve Berline and the Panther offense with a lot of explaining to do. Mark Carrier's interception was one of 2 red zone takeaways for the Lions, who would put the game away in the second half on a scoring pass to David Sloan. The surprising Lions improved to 4-2 in a first-place tie. With the loss, the Panthers fall to 2-4. This week they traveled to Atlanta to face the Falcons, who were in Pittsburgh last Monday night, along with Chuck Noll and the members of the 1974 Super Bowl champions, who were celebrating their 25th anniversary. With so much Steeler tradition, it seemed only fitting that defense took center stage. Pittsburgh held Atlanta to 67 first-half yards and took a 13-0 lead.
Dump pass to the right side, and at the 10 to the 5 is Huntley. Still on his feet, and he wins and scores.
Dan Reeves' Falcons refused to fold, and midway through the fourth quarter cut the lead to 6. With under 2 minutes to play, Atlanta drove to the Steeler 1-yard line.
Here we go. 4th and goal. Crowd on their feet.
Chandler turns and gives to his running back, Oxendine. He gets to the goal line. He doesn't make it. He does not make it.
In the closing seconds, Atlanta had time for one last drive.
And here comes Atlanta with one last chance. Chandler takes. He's back. Throws for the goal line.
Pittsburgh's 2 defensive stands in the final minutes were true to the steel curtain of old and good enough to push the Steelers back over 500.
The Steelers are struggling offensively, but their quarterback is in unique company, as we learn in this week's Inside Update. Cordell Stewart has started 39 consecutive games at quarterback, second only to Brett Favre's 116 now that Tampa Bay is benching Trent Dilfer after 70 consecutive starts. Stoney Case's streak of 2 consecutive starts will end. The Baltimore Ravens start their 3rd quarterback of the season, Tony Banks. Chicago's Shane Matthews is back from a hamstring injury and will start for a disappointing Cade McNown. McNown will still play a couple of series. According to Eagles head coach Andy Reid, Philadelphia will get rookie quarterback Donovan McNabb in the game, maybe even in the first half, but not at the expense of winning a game. The Jets have a bye this week, which gives Ray Lucas 1 more week to heal. Bill Parcells has hinted that he will turn back to Lucas against Arizona a week from Sunday. And now for some more inside information, let's go to Lynn Dawson and Gary Myers.
Chris, thank you very much. Gary, earlier in the program, we voiced our opinions on the Washington Redskins situation between the owner and the head coach. What has been the response from the Redskins camp?
Well, Lenny, I spoke to both Dan Snyder and North Turner, and basically what came out of that meeting is that Snyder wanted an explanation about why the Redskins gave up 38 points to the Cowboys and what Turner planned to do to prevent it from happening again in the future. Turner insists that no jobs were threatened and that Snyder did not tell him to go ahead and cut any players. But when they got back to Washington that night, they met again. And in that meeting, which included Bill Arnsparger, who was recently hired as a defensive assistant, Arnsparger suggested that to help the #1 defense, that they go against the #1 offense in practice this week, which is a highly unusual move, but one they felt will really help them. And for about 10 plays every day in practice, the #1 defense has been going against that first-team offense.
Well, let's see, they're 4-2. It's a good thing they're not 0-6 right now. I want to talk about the Green Bay Packers and Seattle. Mike Holmgren going back to Green Bay for the first time as head coach of Seattle. What does he think the reaction of the fans are going to be?
Well, and there's really been none of the bitterness that surrounded Bill Parcells' first return to New England in 1997, but I asked Holmgren what kind of reaction he expects from the fans, and he says, certainly, you know, when you have 65,000 people, not everybody's going to be happy with you, and certainly last year there were a lot of people that felt that Holmgren was leaving after the season, that was the theme all last season, and then he went ahead and did leave. At halftime of the game against Philadelphia in November, a fan questioned Holmgren's commitment to the Packers. Holmgren got into a shouting match with him, something he said this week he really regrets, that he embarrassed himself and his family.
I want to talk about quarterbacks because I was an ex-quarterback. Steve McNair, evidently, he's ready to play after back surgery a few weeks ago. What has Jeff Fisher seen to indicate this guy's ready to go?
Well, Lenny, it's not as if McNair just returned to practice on Tuesday. 10 days after he had that back surgery on September the 19th, he began throwing the ball, and for the last 3 weeks, he's been throwing 6 days a week.
Well, he's coming back. Trent Dilfer of Tampa Bay is being put on the bench. What is his future like in Tampa?
Lenny, right now I think it's too early to say that he's definitely done in Tampa, but it certainly seems that things are going in that direction, especially because at the end of the season, the Bucs have a clause to exercise a $4.6 million buyback in Dilfer's contract that would give them 2 more years. I don't think they're going to exercise that. All indications are that Dilfer will be a free agent at the end of the season.
Gary, last week I was at the Kansas City-Baltimore game. They got a real problem. They don't have a quarterback. How'd they get in this mess?
Well, they had an opportunity to get Brad Johnson from Minnesota, who Brian Billick coached with the Vikings the last few years. Minnesota wanted a first, second, and third-round pick. Baltimore was only willing to give up the first and the third-round pick. Washington went ahead and made that deal. But next draft, they will have an opportunity to get a quarterback, because not only do they have their own first-round pick, but now they also have Atlanta's first-round pick, which figures to be a very high pick. And there are 3 quarterbacks that people expect to go in the first round. Chris Redmond from Louisville, Chad Pennington from Richmond, and also from Marshall, and also Drew Brees, if he comes out, Purdue's junior quarterback.
Wait a minute. Purdue is my school. He's a junior. This guy's there for an education. You can forget about him, but we're not forgetting about you. We'll see you again next week.
Okay, Lenny.
Chris, let's go back to you.
Thanks, Lenny. You know, when Rich Gannon marched Oakland down the field in the final 2 minutes on Sunday, it brought back memories of a time when Oakland's George Blanda either quarterbacked or kicked his Raider team to a last-minute victory nearly every week. The year was 1970, and Kurt Gowdy takes us back to that special season.
George would sit or stand on the sideline and watch the game and always think of what he would do. And then the minute he got in there, in those days, the quarterback called his own plays, he would just go to them.
On October 25th, 1970, 43-year-old George Blanda replaced injured Oakland quarterback Darryl LaMonica. The Raiders rolled to a come-from-behind win.
All in all, in about the 2.5, 3 quarters we're in there, we moved the ball pretty well, scored 34 points, I think, and we beat them 34-14 or something like that.
Here's the bootleg now by Dawson running to the right himself. He got a first down.
The following week, the Raiders renewed their friendly rivalry with the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs.
Done by one of the Chiefs. 2 more Chiefs come in. There's a big pile out. Davidson and Taylor are going at it. There are at least 8 Chiefs. Here come all the Raiders. Holy Toledo. It's a free-for-all.
Into this battle zone came Blanda to attempt a 48-yard field goal to salvage a tie.
They had a big 6'9" tight end. Morris Stroud was his name, and they set him under the goalpost. And when I kicked the ball, he took a jump at the ball and almost hit it.
He was older than most of our coaches, you know, so George had that special ability to come in and perform under pressure. Not many athletes are gifted with that ability, and George had that.
1 week later, the Raiders needed a fourth-quarter touchdown for a tie.
George said, I'll tell you what. He said, if you let me throw 3 slants to Warren Wells, I'll guarantee you a touchdown.
Blanda back to pass. Blanda looks, Blanda throws. Complete touchdown, Wells. Raiders score!
He had a God-given killer instinct when the game was on the line. George Blanda wanted the football or wanted to be kicking the football because he could win.
Here it is. Snap. Spotted. It's kicked. That's got a chance. That is good. It's good. Holy Toledo. George Blanda has just been elected king of the world.
Everyone could associate with him. You know, I mean, young people would look up to him and say, look at what this guy's doing. Old people would say, how the hell is he doing that?
The next week, Father Time drove the Raiders 80 yards in the game's closing seconds for a winning touchdown.
If we gave some people in the middle age group a little hope that they can do and accomplish anything they want to, if they want it hard enough, then my season of 70 was worthwhile. But I didn't think anything. I thought I was 21.
And here comes George Blanda onto the field.
On November 22nd, George Blanda decided his 5th straight football game, cementing his place in NFL history.
LaMonica will spot it. He waits. It's snapped. It's spotted. It's kicked. It is good. George Blanda has kicked the Oakland Raiders into a 3-point lead.
He played until he was 48, retired with more than 24 NFL records, and always came through when it counted.
He was, I think, the greatest clutch player that the game has ever known.
George Blanda was very competitive. I know when he was 48 years old, he was cut, and he was really ticked off because he figured, you know, he could play until he retired at age 65.
Yeah, well, in 1962, my rookie year, George Blanda was 35 years old. We used to say, let's get that old man. We used to blitz him 30 times. We still couldn't get to him.
Just a whippersnapper then.
Whippersnapper. How did we do last week? Were we whippersnappers?
Speaking of the whippersnapper.
The whippersnapper with a terrific week last week for the season.
And Jerry's on the ball.
But I'm tied.
Well, earlier in this program, we picked several games. Now it's time to pick the rest. Buffalo looks to rebound against Baltimore. The Ravens turn to Tony Banks at quarterback. We like the Bills. Last week, Carolina could not score inside the 5-yard line. Despite that, Jerry and I like the Panthers, but Chris and Nick take the Falcons. Chicago has had all kinds of problems running the football. We think Daniel Snyder's Redskins will get back to their winning ways. Well, Jerry thinks the Browns will get their first win. What do you think of that, ladies and gentlemen?
Their first win.
Yes, the Saints have lost their last 5 games, but the rest of us still like New Orleans. Running back Fred Taylor returns to the Jacksonville lineup. The Jags will defeat the Bengals in Cincinnati. Jeff George has led the Vikes to 8 touchdowns in 16 possessions. Chris and Jerry are taking the Vikings. Nick and I still like the Broncos in Mile High. New England travels to Arizona, where Dave Brown makes his first start of the season for the Cardinals. We take the Pats. Well, now for the rest of the games in more detail. New York Giants at Philadelphia on October the 3rd. The Giants won 16-15 over the Eagles.
The Giants lost 5 starters in their game last week, and for the Eagles, they've played 4 of their last 5 games on the road, but the last time they were at home, they beat the Cowboys. I like Philadelphia.
No. Kent Graham has played like Superman the last 2 weeks. I said the last 2 weeks, not the whole year. He's completed 68% of his passes. He'll be the difference. Giants win.
Lenny, did you know that Kent Graham, when he played the Eagles the last time, he threw 3 interceptions, and the Eagles have 19 turnovers. Tough defense, but no offense. I like Armani Toomer and the Giants.
Well, I'll take the Giants because of the Eagles' offense. You talk about the Eagles. They've been in the red zone 11 times. They only have 2 touchdowns. Can't win doing that.
They're saving them up.
Hey, we got San Diego at Kansas City, and the Chiefs have beaten the Chargers 9 straight years in Kansas City. Make that 10 years in a row because the offensive line is healthy now. Glenn Parker back at left tackle.
Hey, Mike Riley, how can he play Eric Kramer? If I was that defensive San Diego, I wouldn't even show up. I like Kansas City.
Well, if Eric Kramer's going to play quarterback and Nate Traumine, he's out. He's not going to play for 3 or 4 weeks. I'm taking Kansas City.
San Diego, though, without their safety, Rodney Harrison, that defense just not the same. I like the Chiefs, too.
Tampa Bay at Detroit. Eric Zier gets the nod at quarterback for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. They can put Zier in. They can put Duper in, but they still don't have an offense. Their defense is great, but Detroit wins this game.
And I like Detroit. They're getting better each and every week. Last week, their best pass rush ever, they had 4 sacks. And guess what? Charlie Batch, for the first time ever, no sacks. Detroit wins again.
Detroit's running defense is pretty good as well, and this week they get their middle linebacker, Stephen Boyd, back. I like the Lions.
I like Detroit as well, and I'll tell you why. Tampa Bay does not hold on to the football. They're -10 in that turnover ratio. Lions are +3. Our last game, Seattle at Green Bay. Brett Favre, 116 consecutive starts at quarterback, but his first against Mike Holmgren, his former coach.
And his former coach is bringing the #1 quarterback in AFC, John Kitna, to Green Bay. But the free safety, Darren Sharper, will take away the slim post and the center cut, and the Packers win.
But Leroy Butler is back at the line of scrimmage for the Green Bay Packers, and when they blitz him and blitz in general, this defense looks like the old Packers defense. I like Green Bay.
Seattle's got a problem. Their center, Kevin Glover, is out for the season. He calls all the blocking up there. I like Green Bay.
Now, Seattle has a great defense. Michael Sinclair, Cortez Kennedy. Add to that cast of character, Phillip Daniels, 2 sacks last week. But playing in Green Bay, forget it. I like the Packers.
Folks, starting next Thursday, November the 4th, Inside the NFL will premiere at 8 p.m. That time is 8 p.m. Thanks for asking, Nick. And will be replayed again at midnight. And, of course, if you miss any part of it, you can catch it again Friday at 7 p.m. and Saturday at 11 a.m. Those times are Eastern and Pacific. Well, next week, Inside the NFL goes on the road. So meet me in St. Louis, where we'll visit the team everyone is talking about, the high-powered first-place Rams. We're going to find out what the excitement is all about. That's our show for this week. So for Nick, Chris, and Jerry, I'm Len Dawson saying thanks for watching the show the pros watch, Inside the NFL. This Monday, November the 1st at 8 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Pacific, HBO Sports presents the documentary Howard Cosell, Telling It Like It Is. A look at the life of the most controversial sportscaster in television history. On Saturday, November the 6th, Boxing After Dark returns with heavyweights Hasim Rahman versus Oleg Moskayev. Also that evening, the Holyfield-Lewis Preview Special, an in-depth look at the upcoming November the 13th rematch between Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis.
I'm here in Dallas, Texas, trying to get my job done. Yeah, I know I have the little hair on my chin, but I'll shave it when I get back home, Mom. Sorry. It's on TV this week, huh? We're on TV.
This has been a presentation of HBO Sports, the network of champions.
Go inside the NFL with MVP quarterback Brett Favre and tight end Mark Chmura of the Green Bay Packers.
Hey, Brett, you think this whole Y2K thing is going to affect my receptions this year?
I don't know. That's a tough one. I'd ask Chris. He theorized that the whole Y2K thing may affect your yards after the catch numbers.
This can't be possible.
Believe it, man. Chris has been installing bug-free software in the league's hard drives. That way, all my touchdown passes will be saved until the 21st century.
What about my receptions?
Go inside the game with Inside the NFL, the show the pros watch into the next millennium. Starts next Thursday at 8 and midnight.
Y2K is not a problem, it's a process, and Mark has to embrace that if he's going to put up big numbers and balance his checkbook.
There's no reason to type WH before Y2K.
Next on HBO. The truck stop has long been known for lascivious activity, but in Nevada, it's all legal. HBO takes you there. Real Sex 12. Next on HBO.
From HBO Sports, countdown to Holyfield-Lewis. Take an in-depth look at their first fight before the rematch for the unified heavyweight championship of the world.
Holyfield landed on that hook. Hard right hand by Lewis.
Get the blow-by-blow as these two warriors get ready to go toe-to-toe again. Followed by Boxing After Dark, live. Countdown.